boss man. If she goes, we gotta go with her. So how we gonna do this?
Well, let's get her first. You gonna be cool though, right?
Oh, I'm good, boss. Trust me. You're doing a good job and doing mine too. Okay. That's my clients. Wherever she goes, I go. That means we get a nice vacation in the small room, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay. All right. Sounds good.
I'll let you know everybody does.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, my passport is 21552. 21552.
Where she is
We're going with her. She can lock this.
She's going to be in the prison, so you guys just follow.
No. If you guys put her handcuffs, we're getting handcuffs.
Yeah, no, you can meet at the big bond.
That's not what's happening.
I know you're upset. This is a great day.
I'm fine, but
I want to make sure I give you
so she gets the handcuffs. We're following her handcuffs. Okay.
I love her.
All right. Listen, if she goes in the wagon, we're going in with the boss. Can we do that?
We can't do that.
We're her bodyguards. So
no, I need you to be. I need at least one of you to be free to get her out. Get her out of there.
That's not as works.
He wants to go to jail, but I need.
We have plenty of people free.
I need her number and stuff.
You're doing your job. I do something. So we'll talk to her. Let me explain to her, and maybe she can talk some sense into you. So then you're not worried away.
There is a lot of people there that I'm covered in the state. You're not allowed to touch. No one. I know.
Call Michael. No, call Michael.
So at this
Call Michael.
just call them. She's taking you to pay for
Go on the bus and get my other phone number.
I want to make sure I get his number so I can call these guys. So I get in touch with
You don't stand in the way of my property.
Okay, sir. Wait, you're the only one on my bank account.
Get out of the way.
Just make sure I
Get up, do it.
Out of the
And that's fine. Look, you're not going to need that, okay? Everything's going to be fine. Trust me.
Please back up.
Understand.
We're going with her, sir. We're going with her.
You're fine. You're right.
Sir.
Tell your people to calm down. All right? Just tell them to calm down. It's not that big of an issue.
All right, ma'am. I got to put some handcuffs on you,
You
okay?
understand? But they're going to make it a big issue. Understand what I mean? Tell them to calm down. Make sure I have numbers and stuff for her. Listen, honey, I got to pat you down.
I'm going to get in there.
No, you're not.
Lock me up with her. She's not going in there alone.
She is.
Just let me right in there with her. Go right along.
It's against our policy, male.
Take your hands off your back a little bit, okay?
Yeah, okay. Just make sure, sir.
They don't have to.
Are those too tight or they
Look at me when I'm sitting there.
She loves this man, right?
Stormy, I'm going to walk away outside of the street.
It's going to be all right. They're going to take you down there. They're going to talk to you. They're going to explain. I have no idea. Okay. But I will find out. But look. Have you ever been arrested?
All right, watch your head going in, okay? Yep, we got you. Watch your head. Have a seat there on the left.
On the left. Yep. Right there. Yep, right there.
I'll put this seatbelt on you, okay?
I do, but...
Let us know if you need any more air, okay?
I'm not.
All right, the House Intel Committee Chairman Devin Nunes, he blasted the Justice Department yesterday during an interview claiming that some within the DOJ, they're hoping Republicans will actually lose the House in the midterm elections. He also said that if there was evidence the Russians were colluding with the Trump campaign in 2016, Congress would have been briefed on it at the time, which they were not. Now, remember, it was Chairman Nunes back in 2014. He sounded the alarm about Russia's malicious intent to cause chaos around the world and, yeah, in our very own elections. Here now is the House Intel Committee Chair, Devin Nunes. So with all this talk about, meddling and interference. It happened at least in 2008. It happened in 2012. You warned the Obama administration very publicly in 2014, and now we're supposed to act surprised that it all happened, although, you know, it was under Barack Obama's watch, not Donald Trump.
Yeah, Sean, look, I think I warned them not just in 2014, but very specifically in 2016, where I called it the largest intelligence failure since 9/11, our failure to understand Putin's plans and intentions. And remember, by that time, we had seen the Russians actively involved in many elections around the globe. So they were actively trying to interfere in elections in Eastern Europe and some of the former Soviet states. So this was nothing new at all. And what I'm most upset about in this whole situation of many things, but when you go back to that time period, is how they were able to ignore the warnings that we were sending from the House Intelligence Committee. And then, lo and behold, after they lost the election, they first tried to blame fake news. And then when that didn't work, they switched it into this whole concept of Russia.
So this is a big point, too, is that if there were any collusion, certainly you would have known about it at the time. And if anything had come out between now and then, you would have seen that, as you have seen almost everything. So the question is, well, why is the witch hunt going on? And how do you look at the Mueller indictments, then, of these 12 Russians that are the equivalent of our CIA operatives? They're never coming to America. There's never going to be a trial. Mueller, you know, indicted these bot companies thinking they'd never respond. Now he's asking the judge in that case if they could literally not turn over any documents. In other words, that there won't be any disclosure.
Well, and remember, so it's not just about the warnings that I gave in 2014, 15, and 16. It is also a fact that a year and a half ago, the House Intelligence Committee had more than what's in the Mueller indictment of the 12 Russian officers. Okay, so we had more information than that. Now, and we put it in our report in March. It was in our report that was made public in April. It's heavily redacted, remember, by the Department of Justice and FBI. But we had all this information. And so, you know, the thing that I brought up is I just find the timing of this to be very hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
You might give them the benefit of the doubt, but why does this always happen? Every time something happens on one side where we find out a new revelation about what appears to be real problems in the FBI and DOJ with this investigation, then all of a sudden they drop an indictment. It's happened time and time and again, and this one is really bad.
So this is what I want to ask you. Do you think they're trying to literally, as you said, that you believe the FBI and DOJ, they're obstructing in terms of doing what is what your authority constitutionally is oversight, and they have been obstructing the entire way. And now there's talk about actually impeaching Rod Rosenstein, and there's talk about holding these people in contempt. And you say they're really doing this, hoping the Dems take over Congress and that it all ends then?
It's the oldest trick in the book. So many of the bureaucracies here in Washington know how to wait out Congress. They know to try to plan meetings on a Friday when they know there's not votes, or on a Monday when there's not votes. That's the time that they want to give things. They wait. They know that Congress is going to adjourn next week. And so the more that they delay for no reason, we're waiting on many documents, as you know. We're getting very slow, snail-paced cooperation that is clearly designed to wait until next week when Congress adjourns. Now, I have news for them. They're still going to get to come in and give depositions. They may think they're not going to, but they're going to be coming in to give depositions throughout the summer, and that's part of the 42 names that I sent to Chairman Gowdy and Chairman Goodlatte. So I have every expectation that there will be many opportunities for these 42 individuals to come to Congress, even though they have tried to wait us out. And I think they'd love to see Republicans lose. And I say that, I hate to say that, but I have to believe that the Department of Justice and FBI, the people at the leadership, they are banking on a loss by the Republicans in the fall, which is why people have to understand how important it's going to be to get out and vote in this election to ensure that the members of Congress are returned that are actively involved to ensure, because if the Democrats get control, they're going to drop all of this investigation. They're not going to do anything on this investigation.
They'll cover up the biggest This was about literally trying to steal a presidential election. They'll stop it all. I hope you do hold them in contempt. And if it means impeachment, then that must be done. Otherwise, no congressional subpoena will ever have any teeth to it, ever. It'll be the end of it. Mr. Chairman, thank you for being with us.